Shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right? Shenanigans.
I follow a lot of the Santa Cruz local pages on Facebook still because I have a bunch of friends down there, and I grew up there, and they're doing these homeless camp cleanups. They had, they're all over the place.
Good.
And there are a few in town here that I've seen that the cops will go in, blow them all out,
Yep.
and then just the shit they leave behind. It's just unbelievable. Like, talk about like shitting where you eat.
It's sad, but we don't.
I'm not the cleanest person in the world,
but come on.
It's like some of this is just, you can't even compare. It's apples and oranges. It's like, no wonder they're kicking you guys out. If you had if I were to walk into some homeless camp and I seen that it was garbage everywhere, and then the needles. I mean, you find those in Walmart parking lot.
I know. Isn't that weird?
We
find them
terrible.
here.
Yeah, it's terrible down by the river. And if I walked into a camp and it was someone greeted by someone, and the place looked like people were like not necessarily trying to keep it nice, but they just they live there. Like that kind of thing. I probably, I mean, if I wouldn't get fired from my job, I'd probably just carry on. I know nothing, but then you walk into these ones where you could tell they're up to no good. There's trash everywhere, stolen bicycles, what have you. Yeah, that's a problem, But
Yeah,
I don't care. If I went into one where they took pride in it, and these people, you could tell a lot by a person just by their surroundings, their vehicle,
right?
Some
people are addicted to chaos, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, I'm learning that.
My wife and I had a young man come stay. We'll get to this in a second.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
My wife and I had someone come stay. It was a friend. Growing up in a small town, okay, it's a weird thing to do because you see multiple generations of people from that town still living there. And not that it's a bad thing. Some of them were successful. Some of them, maybe not.
The same thing they were doing.
But that's just what it is. And then you see the next generation. So I have a friend who their kid was just kind of being backburnered because of their situation. And I mean, as you can see, I don't have it too bad. I've got it better, I think, than some. Maybe even most. I don't know. I have a great wife. She's super caring. She has enough love for everybody. So we had him come stay with us. And I mean, we got him back up to, got a couple pounds back on him because he wasn't really eating. He was just getting a bite here and there. And so, of course, we don't eat bad. And so we got him fattened up a little bit, kind of got him his own thing, had his own room. And it didn't take but a couple months until he just had to go back. He had to go back. That chaos was so, I don't want to say ingrained because I think people can change, but
addictive personality.
It's what he wanted. He wanted it.
I guess so. Yeah. For some reason, then the trick is finding out why. There's no why. When you grow up in it and you don't know any better, anything foreign, just conditioned for it.
That's right. It feels good at first, but then after a while, you miss the freedoms because we're structured in this house, right? My son is and my daughter are very they're pushed pretty hard, not to where they're going to rebel and be bad kids, but every decision they make we question. Okay,
right?
Because they're not. My son's an adult now, and I keep telling him I'm going to stop doing this because I'm getting sick of yelling at him. But everything that they do, we want to question it. That way, they know why. They don't just come up with ideas because it sounds good, but because there's thought behind it. And they get mad about it sometimes, but we have a lot of structure. So, and that's my wife. I'm just as bad as a kid that stayed and is addicted to chaos. Right. So, I don't have a leg to stand on. But it creates a good drive, good work ethic, all these things. So when the kids get out there in the real world, they're not shocked by unfair or hard. Okay? They're just not. Where some folks, they're going to learn soon that, man, I can't just not go to work today because I don't want to, or just little things like that. Where I know my kids, because we've been so hard on them, are going to be like, this is the easiest job I've ever had because they've worked the hardest you can work. They've done farm work. They had to move my parents' shop.
I'm the same exact way.
Work them hard when they're young. They'll appreciate it.
I've worked very hard since, my grandfather owned his own company. He did parking lot striping. Mm-hmm. So when they
That's a great job.
build these big, any parking
That's
lot,
a lot of money.
parking garages.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just him and his 2 sons.
Perfect.
And
They got the little thing. They can.
they have the walk behind machines. They've got
My favorite's that little bucket on the stick.
Yeah.
They pour the paint in and they just yeet. I was like,
Yeah.
that guy's a genius. I couldn't do
Right.
that.
But yeah, they have all the stencils.
Yep.
You know, and the curb machines for painting the curb.
That was
No
awesome.
parking stencils, handicap
Yeah.
stencils, and it was a lot of hard work.
Yeah, but that's good money. That is
It
a
is.
great gig.
There was times where Grandpa had like 200,000 in the bank, you know. But in wintertime, you can't paint in the winter unless you get a parking garage job. 'Cause those
I bet you
covered.
that's what he went for too.
Yeah, totally. And he was very well known, and I was carrying paint buckets at the age of, I started helping them as long as I can remember. And then
good for
I
you.
remember when I was in elementary school, he'd pay me $25 a day and I was
That's
like,
not bad.
Well, when you're 8 years old, you're stoked. 2 weekends,
this-
$100 bill.
Yeah, dude, come on.
Like, come on, yeah.
You're the richest kid in your school,
Totally. So I would,
aside from the rich kids.
I would work and save my $25 a day, and I was stoked.
Buy bicycle parts.
Yeah, and then or whatever. And there was this other kid on the street in the neighborhood that his dad would give him $25 a week just for doing nothing.
Yep.
And he was like the rich kid in the neighborhood.
I know.
You wanted a PS2? Guess what? He had 2 of them.
Oh, I know.
Like,
I totally know.
and man, they'd always be playing at his house, and I was out working, and it had been that way forever. I've worked.
But your play is work.
What's that?
I said your play is work.
I think so.
Half of it. So if you're into doing a bicycle or if you're into doing a car,
Yeah.
well, half of it's working on it. The other half is enjoying it.
Yeah, that's because I spent all my savings last year like an idiot and kind of had this mental thing like I got no more money left. So from January 1st up until today, I've had a side job every single night. I think there's been 3 or 4 nights where I haven't. And I, get off at 5, go home and work until 10 or 11. And I got used to the 5-hour sleep deal. Perfectly fine. And yeah, and I think you're right. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it every single day.
It's part. It's part of who you are.
Yeah,
My brother
totally.
Rick was like that. I mean, he's a little less like it now, but he's hit 50, and so he's 54 almost. And so Rick,
A little tired.
dude, my brother, if you popped open a hood with my brother, you just would not believe what he knows.
Right.
It's on. You go build a house with him, you learn something.
Yeah.
He's not the smartest cookie, all right.
But smart enough to know all that,
No, he's amazing. I tell jokes about my brother because I love him to death. He's one of my favorite people.
Right.
And he does stuff I cannot do. Like, I'm okay at things. He is a master. And I mean, you want to see a guy ride a wheelie? Let me tell you, when he was a kid, even to this day, I bet you he still can do it. Give him a bicycle that can be ridden. No
Okay.
forks, no front end, no seat. Just sprocket, wheel, frame. He'll ride a wheelie.
Right.
Comfortably. He'll turn around and come back.
He's one of those people that can feel it.
He has this knack. You give him a piece of machinery. He's never ran before. 10 minutes, he's running it better than the guy that's been there for 40 years.
Right.
It's just, and this is not me. This is everyone that knows Rick.
I know
They
people
all
that
know.
way.
They're like, yeah, it's ridiculous.
There's some people that just can just play,
Right.
and there's some people that have to work at it, and
But
certain things I have to work at. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, for example, when we go to the store, I pay with cash. Before it pops up on the screen, I know how much change she's going to give me.
Yep.
I can do that. I can multiply up to 15 in my head. I can't count change back to save my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Can't do it.
Hey,
it's just,
we've
that's
all
how
got-
my brain works.
Yeah, we all got little glitches.
Yes, and that's.
I do math funny.
Yeah.
I
But
do.
as long as you get it right. I mean.
Oh, I do.
it's-
I'm good at it,
Well, there you go.
but I do it funny.
If
I
it works,
add
it's
little
not,
pieces together and screw. I don't know. Take 2 from there, add 3 to that one. It's
Yeah,
5.
well,
So now we're.
I know what you
And
mean.
I'm super quick at it, but that's just the way I've always done it. It's almost like I work it backwards.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
And you know what? If it works and it works good, it's not funny, not silly. It's
Well, and
great.
from what I've read, I'm supposed to have an engineering brain, but there's no way I can sit still long enough to engineer.
yeah.
If I had to sit there and do something, like, I have to do 30 different things to get these videos all ready and going.
Right.
Okay, and I can do 1 or 2 of them a day.
Right.
Maybe 3 of them, right? If I do short videos, I could do like 3 of them a day. Do them, edit them, put them all together, do all the screens, do all the artwork, do all the stuff, upload them, all the medias. So, but I'm moving and doing stuff. If I had to just sit here and type for,
Oh, there's a portion of your
Can't
brain
do it.
that's jet back that go, hey.
I can't do it.
Yeah, that's why when I'm working on cars, I usually have a movie going.
Yep.
And I don't watch it. I listen to it.
Right.
And it's probably a movie I've seen a billion times.
Right. Well, yeah, Super
Just
Troopers.
Pick a Tarantino flick.
Exactly.
You know, whatever.
Same thing with Letterkenny's and things
yes,
like that.
exactly. It's in the background. You hear it, and it just, to me, it's like
Someone's talking to you.
that part of my brain's occupied.
Yep.
So it's working. So now this part of the brain can run the hands, and then there's still a portion that's it's crazy. But I know what you mean. You got to keep these.
I'll have a podcast going. I'll be playing a video game, right? Mm-hmm. And I'll be, I don't know, doing something else at the same time usually. Oh, I'll have the podcast going on one side. I'll have the fights going on the other side. And I'll be playing a video game.
Yeah.
And my wife's like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm watching
Happy
fights.
as a clam. Just totally like, yeah.
Well, I have too much going on that to keep it busy, I need more than one thing. Mm-hmm. So if I just put on, unless it's an awesome movie or TV show that I'm just stuck into.
But more than likely,
playing
you're
a video
going to be
game.
fiddling with something.
I can't help it.
Yeah.
But I have like multiple, I don't know what's wrong with me.
If you can get them all to work at once together, but it seems like this portion of the brain, I want to do this, but what are your hands going to do? So, you got to...
No, seriously. I don't know why. I don't know what compels me to, and I thought everyone was like this, but
one of those ADD kids.
It's
like
ADHD.
ADHD, the
That's what I have.
hyperactivity
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
And then I add some caffeine to it, and
That's supposed to help us, they say.
well, it does. Depends on how much caffeine and when, and the delivery
There's
system.
always factors.
If you have a cup of like warm tea or coffee before a test, you focus a little bit better. But if you had a cup of them,
You're doing your test, you're drawing a picture over here,
Yeah.
and you're reading.
Yeah.
School was a nightmare for me.
I took tests well, but the rest of it horrible.
Yeah,
except for
like,
PE.
When I wrote at the end of freshman year, we had to write a report on the Holocaust. You pick a camp, you pick a Nazi, and you pick God, I don't remember what the third one was, but my teacher calls me up, you need to stay after class. I want to talk to you. And I was like, I didn't know. Well, I just, it was nothing to me. I wasn't a bad kid, but I wasn't cut out to sit there and fucking at a desk and listen all day. But I had my dad help me with this report. And we wrote this report.
They said you plagiarized it or something, didn't they?
No, it's just she's sitting there and she's holding it and she's talking to me and I don't know if she's mad or what. She puts it down and says A plus 100%, and then question marks.
How'd you do this?
Yeah, she's like, I've spoke with you. You're intelligent. Your grades suck. You don't do homework. But she goes, but this report. And I said, yeah, I had my dad help me with it. I didn't lie to her. But if you knew my dad, he didn't do the report. Not even close. He would sit there on his computer doing his thing, and then he was, helping me at the same time. I did the report.
Mentoring.
He would, show me where to get the information, because this was, we had the internet back then, but it wasn't like it is now.
Oh, I totally
I don't want to
understand.
say it was in its infancy, but it was definitely growing still.
I didn't buy a computer until 2005.
Right.
Because I hated pages loading up. By 2005, pages loaded up a little quicker, and I was able to navigate. And so at that point, I was cool. Before that, fuck you, internet.
Yeah, but my dad was always pretty tech savvy. Kind of had to be because of his job. But he would just show me where to get the info, and there'd be points where he's like, okay, so this is key information. This is key. And so he helped me with it, but I did it. And the teacher was like, why don't you apply yourself? She goes, you obviously put time into this, and this is amazing.
Right.
She's like, I graded this up with these 3 kids in the class who are just, valedictorian, this, that, the other, on to do great things, and they are these days. And she's like, what's going on with you? And just
Wasted talent is what she called you.
more or less. It was like, I just didn't care to sit there all day and just. I did fair on tests, I didn't bomb tests. She's like, you're obviously you're a smart person.
School's not for everybody.
Yeah, it had no interest.
None
at all.
I got kicked out of 4 high schools.
I got booted from 1 middle school, and
they couldn't kick me out. My dad went down there and made him keep me. I got I think 156 referrals in my 5th year.
Oh, there you go. That's
my kids had them.
some sort of record.
My kids went through them. Shannon threw a desk at a teacher. Shannon threw his baseball glove. Shannon wouldn't sit still. Constant.
Yeah, I never got into I put a kid in the garbage can once. I think I got in we got caught for 1 fight. skateboarding at school.
Whatever.
But
Yeah.
nothing terrible. I mean, the garbage can thing was kind of stupid. Yeah, I know that now.
Whatever,
It was
we did that
uncalled
stuff.
for. Yeah, but you know,
We made paddles. We made paddles in woodshop
yeah.
and beat the shit out of each other in the hallway for like 2 days. It was the funniest thing we've ever done. But, I mean, so my friend Casey and myself, and there was another dude, Mike, and there was Tim Clark, who was 8 foot tall, and there's all these dudes. Tim's wingspan was like 7 feet.
Right.
So his brother Jeff is a basketball player. He was a basketball. Jeff owns like Surf Pro.
Oh, okay.
He's done very well.
Right.
He's probably one of the most successful guys I went to school with. In our town, even, which is just, it's really amazing. A dude took, he just started fixing and repairing damaged stuff. Next thing you know, he took over the company, I heard, from the people that owned it. And then he bought the Serve Pro, and now he's got, he has to employ tons of people. I mean,
Right. It's a restoration company.
Yeah.
Fire and flood damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He was doing it before, but this is out of high school. All his family are teachers. I think his dad, I think, does insurance or something. But for the most part, these guys, this is a teaching family. His sister, his brother-in-law, his mom, all these people, they're all teachers. And I think even maybe his wife. But he just stuck with it and just did the restoration thing. He was smart and invested his money in himself and kept going. And now he's got to be worth quite a bit of money.
Right.
And I'm super proud of this guy. But so it was him and Mike. What was his last name? He'll kill me if I can't remember it. Anyways, so and there was a few other, like Nate Carey and a few other guys, and we all had woodshop. And so one day we decided that we're all just going to beat the shit out of each other with paddles now, because for the most part, we were kind of beating the shit out of each other just in general.
Right.
Just for fun. You like my little
What?
stand?
Hey, man, if it works.
I tried to make it mobile, so because the other one attached to the desk, and I'm trying to do more. I got a comedian lady that I'm trying to have come on soon and stuff.
Oh, there
so
you go.
Yeah. So if someone plays music or something, I want to be able to move it. Anyways, so we decide we're gonna beat the shit out of each other. So we all make these paddles, and we get out of woodshop. We just start kicking the shit out of each other all through the halls. We did it for like 2 days, and it was a blast. It was the most fun we ever had. And you never get hit that hard, but you try to make it sound loud.
Yeah.
And I remember Tim put like a shitload of holes in his, so it would whip through the air faster.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, that when he'd throw a dodgeball, it would stretch like this, and then when it hit you, it would
Yeah.
It was deadly.
Right.
He didn't have the hardest throws in the world, but because of his long arms, don't get hit by him.
Right.
He knocked people over if he hit them in the foot while they were walking. Bam! It was great.
Good times, man.
Yeah.
High school, jeez.
You mean shenanigans?
Shenanigans. Evil shenanigans.
Shenanigans, right?
Shenanigans.